Probably the second thing you mentioned there, and that is get financial stuff in order. I have a kid that's 6 months from finishing college, and we've never done anything to pay for it, so I need to finish paying for his college. This new job of Janet's won't start until the first quarter of next year, so we've got a time here where I'm unemployed. I need to get that taken care of. But I also want to start having those conversations, now, realizing it takes churches a while to do anything.
Yeah.
So it's get the house in order first, and then see if that will work.
My other piece of feedback would be the viability of it's probably going to be almost totally dependent on the relationships with people and networking.
Right.
So if you know strategic people that are looking for this kind of thing, it could be viable. You're sitting there going, man,
Who could I? Yeah.
You're in trouble.
Well, that's a great piece, because fortunately, the nonprofit I've been working for has been, part of my job has been to connect with those people in those churches. And now I've been given permission by my nonprofit, which is going out of business, to go back to those churches.
Oh, wow.
How many churches? You have a lot of leads.
I do have leads, right. I have
And
3 in mind.
To me, the strongest thing is, following up on Jeff's question of the value proposition. I was first struck by investing in the leaders and then that diffusing throughout the whole church.
Right.
And I think there's going to be a lot of leverage coming out of Reveal. And I'm finding some churches that I'm engaged with right now that are willing to invest in their leadership.
Right.
We're also doing some stuff where we're making a presentation of those leaders. The church is going to invest this and to invite you into this process. And then we're going to ask you to match what the church is going to pay half of this process. We're going to ask you to pay half of this process. The leaders to pay half.
Right.
So the next year, possibly 2 years, we're inviting you into this process of leadership development and coming on your creative B. And the church is going to pay half of this, and we're going to ask you to pay half.
I love that.
So I think the value proposition thing and really honing that, particularly in the economic environment we're in, it's going to be huge. You've got to really be able to say, you've got 17% of your leaders here. I think the Reveal study again is really good. You've got 70% of your leaders. How can you invest in them so they don't go out the back door, and you capitalize on that, you bless them, invest in them, and they multiply.
Part of what I'd like from you, kind of offline, is to help me capture some phraseology.
Okay.
Help me articulate that.
Right.
Okay. From a business side, because that's what pastors understand.
Right, yeah.
And for you and me offline, in the next week or so, let's pin down some ways that I can help you get into that, the network of people that are working on Reveal,
Yes.
and introduce you to some of them.
Yeah, because
I may want to be on that conversation.
Okay, we should probably stop here just in the interest of time, but, so let's
Hold on
take.
one second. Why don't you just ask him, how was this for him?
Oh,
Just finish it up. How was that for you?
That-
Just this little 10 minutes here.
Yeah, and that's a great question to end with. Larry has been good at asking us that every time we meet, and it's that's good for me, because you just don't know even what you think sometimes until you hear yourself say it.
Yeah.
And you think, boy, that even sounded dumb when I said that. So how's it going to sound to somebody else? So then it helps me know to ask for what I need. Tony's connections, Larry's, ability to phrase that, Jeff's support or whatever helps me know how to ask.
we do two kinds of debriefs, sometimes both, sometimes just one. One is the how did it impact us debrief, which is usually starting with that question, how did this impact you? Or we'll do an analytical debrief, which I'm asking for you, which is that concerns the skills, the techniques, what did you see? So those of you that were watching, when you think about process, comments, questions, what did you see that struck you? What did you think of the whole thing of several people coaching, engaging at once?
I thought the idea of, the traffic cop, being able to facilitate it almost, your role in a way is more of the facilitation and less contributing. You can still contribute,
Right.
but you're managing the process.
Mike, you were doing a thumbs up there. Is there?
Yeah, but it was good. I had no specific comments.
Okay.
I have a question that goes back to formation, but I don't think we'll get that right now.
Okay. Jerry?
This provides a whole new definition for group coaching.
Yeah. I think group coaching is huge.
Group coaching one,
Yeah.
and that's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Talk to the counselors, it's a powerful concept.
It's good.
What seemed powerful to you, or what, can you be more specific
Well,
about
you know,
counsel?
I struggle, and I would be willing to bet that most of you struggle when I'm dealing with a client. You know, I'm struggling to listen, but at the same time, listening to the Holy Spirit to come up with the right questions. Okay? And you know, if I focus too much on my next question, I'm losing my, so there's that tension that you're always dealing with. But if you've got a group that are focusing on one person, you know, your questions are just popping up, really good questions. At any one time, someone may be lost in their thought, and the other person is lost in the Holy Spirit. Now it comes. So I think it's a very powerful approach.
It's amazing what other people think of to ask that you don't think of. That's very educational.
I think what we saw here was the fruit of the sacrifice of what you guys went through the relational process. I mean, to get 4 people on one page to relate together is difficult. I mean, as coaches, a lot of times we only have to relate with one person, and it doesn't take as long, but when 4 people have to learn how to relate together, it's difficult, like you explained, and that took a sacrifice from each one of you to do it. But now you can see the fruit of it because you so quickly moved into the questions to support him and help him because you knew him and understood him. Most of your questions came, it seemed like, from having that relationship with him already.
Right. We can skip a lot of it.
Yeah.
As I looked at things, I saw 3 things coming to play from the participants. Number 1 was caring about each other, which was very important. Number 2 was general coaching and questioning skills. And number 3 was domain expertise. And there were a few different domain expertises which are critically important
Yes.
to addressing the right things in coaching.
Yeah.
Business domain expertise, counseling and values domain expertise, general expertise on making decisions. And as you interchange with Russ on them, your 3 domain expertises together with your caring for him and your ability to ask questions came together to address a broad spectrum of things with them that was more than any one of you could have done in a coaching environment.
And that's one of the things that's fun that goes beyond just coaching, is that I'm going to help him network with some people, and he's going to help him on some business things. And often when we get into this kind of stuff, we'll end up with, you know, a couple of offline conversations about here's how you do this, or let me give you my expertise, or can I introduce you to this person. So we're bringing a whole dynamic into it that you wouldn't get if someone just coached you, where we're much more, we're friends and we're partners, as well as implementing the coaching thing.
It's very good.
So let's stop there. Again, but the purpose of this was just to give you a picture when we're saying sell. This is the kind of thing we mean. So we're going to take a break for lunch. We've got, hang on, I gotta look at my schedule.